place.
Ooh, interesting.
It's a small thing, but
And he's usually depicted as this very, very strong man with a big globe on his back.
Likely it.
You want to grab the little statue that's up there? I actually have a little thing.
Nice atlas.
Yeah, a nice atlas thing.
I do believe this is a temple.
Tabletop, the miniatures.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
oh, yes.
There he is.
And you could put your weed in there.
So what you're saying is Atlas was an interworld drug mule. Carrying a world officer, I swear that's it.
When I had a reasonable amount of dice, they would go in there, but I had an unreasonable amount. So.
Very unreasonable amount of dice.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I do believe this is an old temple for Atlas, the Titan, cursed by the gods to carry the world on his back. Very strong. Rumor has it that he helped Kernatos Moors carry the pearls and set them in their places.
Yeah, that
Most
guy.
interesting.
Whatever he is, he likes lifting and holding the pillars in place. It's the challenge of the totems.
Most interesting.
I think the god or whatever lives there misses having his pillars in place and gives honor to those who can hold them there.
Quite an interesting expedition. Thurgis, you'll get to lift heavy things, no doubt, and no doubt there is some lost history yet to be uncovered there.
Some weaklings have died, their pillars falling on them. So you need permission to go there.
No. Yes,
We
well,
Understood.
We do not wish to anger the great being.
Only those who are worthy should be toying with the gods.
So perhaps you, little one, shouldn't come. Or maybe you do come and lift what you can.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Come now, Professor, for academics' sake.
How many of them have been lifted into place at the same time before?
Krojun, I went by myself. I did not listen. I could have used help, though. Those hyenas were big. I almost died.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm sure the hyenas did not fare so well.
How long does it take to get permission? Is that something we'd have to do tomorrow?
No, we'll ask after you become.
Don't say it. Don't say the word. Come on now.
Mockstander!
He kind of pounds his back, but just gives you a throttle. Like, yeah, roughhouse.
Roughhouse with the 10-foot muscle dudes, let's stand back.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, they're going to wrestle. Is there anything you want to do for the rest of the day? You guys got there really early. You left at like 10 o'clock in the morning and got there before noon.
I think it comes out to, do we want to go and talk to the Sun Shaman now or after we've kind of been properly introduced?
How far away is the Sun Shaman from us?
The map is to scale.
So, hop, skip, and a jump, really.
I will say the map is ×2, so 400 feet away.
Yeah. I will cast.
You could still turn into air.
Oh, that's interesting. I can also just cast Clairaudience, Clairvoyance. I guess probably clairvoyance and look
Okay.
at what's going on around him. We'll essentially put a sensor there and look at him, see if we can observe activity that's indicative of illness or curse or anything like that.
All right, the Sun Shaman seems to be lying in the center of a traced circle along the stone. The circle looks carved. Give me a perception check. Oh, actually, no. You have a craft. You have craft carving, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's whip that out. That one's not on the quick reference sheet since I don't craft all that often in combat. With
Combat crafting.
tools, I'm not wearing those bracers, so plus 24. I assume I can benefit from the tools when thinking about how
Sure.
26.
Okay. It's good enough to know that
Yeah.
the crafted lines are suspicious. They look too. They look really rough and almost like somebody used their hands to dig out the stone.
Ah,
The circle is a very large sun. It does have a outline of almost like the Vitruvian man, but where he's lying inside of.
sure, yeah.
The Vitruvian cat folk, maybe?
There's a tail in there somewhere.
Yeah. It's definitely meant for him. Like he fits it almost perfectly. And there are some very odd religious symbols that are woven into the circle.
Can I identify what those religious symbols are?
Yeah, knowledge religion.
I'll bardic knowledge take 10 and get a 30.
Okay. This is called a sun disk. It originally was one of the symbols of the Ankwani deity, who is now no longer worshipped, named Ra. You can see a little snake coming off of one side of the sun disk and a little tail coming off the other side, and it seems to be coinciding with where the Sun Shaman's head would go.
Interesting. So he's lying in a sun disk, a symbol of Ra, that looks like it's been carved out dug out by hand from the dirt atop the mound.
Yeah, not dirt, from stone.
From stone.
Yep.
By hand, carved from stone. Roughly. Does it look weathered?
No. The stone looks like, for some reason, the stone was like putty, and a clawed hand kind of traced it all out.
Ah, like it was turned to a clay and then carved out and then turned back. A stone to mud type thing or something along those lines. A stone shape, perhaps.
Yes, interesting.
You do notice on him, there's armor strewn around. That looks like it's been left uncared for it's like haphazardly sort of lying around. He is naked, save for two items. One looks like a gold medallion that he's got currently clasped in his. Well, actually, his hands are out. So there's a gold medallion that bears the symbol of Ra, and he's got this strange mask. There's nothing. Yeah, he's got nothing else with him. The mask does have the sun symbol on it, but it's not specific to Ra. You've seen the sun symbol before. Baishi Pei is the healing goddess who has inherited part of Ra and Horus's pantheon, and her clerics do have the sun domain.
It might be a ritual not to the old gods, but to the new. Baishi Pei is a sun god. He's wearing just the mask and with a sun symbol on it, and an amulet with a sun symbol. Looks a bit like a holy symbol type thing. The rest of his clothing and armor is strewn about, like he took it off without particular care. It seems like some sort of ritual, but it's not clear why.
Perhaps.
The holy symbol that is gold just looks like this stylized eye. Like the eye of Ra.
Perhaps we should wait until the sun sets and he's finished his basking.
Perhaps. He doesn't look super. I think if we put up some protections, we could pop over and say hello. Certainly, get a sense for whether he has a great deal of animosity or not.
He may gain some animosity if we interrupt him in the midst of his daily ritual.
Well, sure, yeah. We could wait until the sun starts to go down. Keep an eye on him from over here.
He does seem pretty determined to bask in that sun as much as possible while it's up.
Does he look reasonably healthy?
He looks. Give me a heal check.
$10.
It's hard to say with all that fur.
Yeah. Doesn't appear visibly emaciated or dehydrated, but it's tough to tell with the fur. Yeah. Is there any water around?
No, and he is muttering every once in a while, like in prayer.
He does seem to be muttering in prayer. I don't see any water around. If he's been up there for quite some time, he's like to be quite thirsty. Unless the amulet sustains him, like mine does me.
I would assume, as if his patron is the sun god Ra, that the sun is nourishing, not debilitating to him.
Why don't we just leave him alone?
When we treat with powerful entities like unto gods, we often find that their motives are pure and seek to do us only good, don't we, Professor?
Yes, I have had some run-ins with perhaps some stumbles along the way, but truly it is a virtuous realm full of virtuous deities.
I think certainly the creature over there is likely to last the night. It does not look at imminent risk of death. We could certainly learn more.
Shall we rest up then until the feast this evening?
Yeah, by then your clairvoyance, I think it's only a minute per level.
Or we could go to the market.
It'll be long gone by then. But we can see if he's moving around and whatnot.
Do you have some commerce to attend to, Thurgus?
I mean, we got a boatload of crap to sell.
And some Zolas burning the hole in our pockets, I do believe.
Leave it. Just put your stuff out you want to sell, and then the merchants will come here and do their appraisals.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Alright. It'll likely happen tomorrow, though. After,
He fiddles with his jaw a little bit.
Yes, after we're no longer
Don't say it,
outside
Krojun. I like
the
you.
tribe.
But if you leave it out tonight, do it where you don't sleep. Nofer will definitely come and take a sniff at them.
Yes, well then, shall we rest until the eve?
Don't worry, he knows not to steal.
Oh.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, Bukerbeck will start putting things out into little piles or putting items and putting a few notes out for you guys as you are going to drop off some stuff to be sold here. It might take time for it all to sell, but if they're willing to do the work,
Yeah, that sounds good.
noontime hits. Doesn't appear the Sun Shaman has moved from his spot. The day begins to crawl into late afternoon. Late afternoon turns to early evening. You can hear people preparing for the feast, and it's definitely much busier out there. Krojun does come back with a couple of casks of like a sparkly wine. You drink until late evening, or to early evening. The sun is setting. Middle of winter, probably sets a little bit earlier. Finally, when the sun sets, you notice the Sun Shaman gets up.
He's moving about.
He
I'll cast invisibility on myself
okay.
and fly up to a vantage point where I can kind of keep 200-300 feet away from him.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
That I can do. Perception plus 31. 36, although it might be 41 depending on whether I've included that one.
He looks woozy. He
He's
then
having a tough time with it. Interesting.
he does begin to cast a spell. Whether by spellcraft or the fact that you have similar effects that were running earlier this day, he turns into a wisp of wind. Give me another spellcraft check as he's diving into the city and heading
Sure.
towards some place.
Spellcraft or perception?
Perception.
$43?
Yeah, you do see that he goes into a window in this kind of double tower building that looks over most of Flameford.
Okay, nice. I'll return to the party and report that I saw him go into that double tower over there, one of the windows there, in wind form. He looked like he'd had quite the taxing day.
I wonder what he is doing up there.
I don't know. Do you want to go over and take a look at it?
How long till the feast begins, Krojun?
You got time to go over if you're quick.
Yes, let's be quick about it then. I'll cast invisibility and fly on myself, and I will go out the window, I think, with Pharisee and fly over to his basking rock to get a better.
What god do you worship again, knight?
Halcyon.
That's a temple of Halcyon over there.
Why the hell didn't anybody tell me? Am I allowed to go there yet?
They said just be careful when you're. They didn't say no. They just said be mindful you're not. Your mock standard status hasn't been lifted. But if there's a temple of Halcyon way the hell out here, then yeah, I'm sure you're allowed in that.
Yeah, I'll go and spend a few hours in prayers.
Okay, well it seems to be where the professor and Pharisee are heading.
The
Well,
basking
if the
rock?
professor's going, he's going to go for sure. He doesn't trust
I thought they were
professor
headed to the
enough.
basking rock.
Krojun,
Come on, let's go talk to the Sun Shaman. He's the one that actually needs to be here.
Let's actually go to the basking rock first and take a look at the symbol and see if we can pick any magic up off of it,
okay.
and then head over to the temple. That should be pretty quick, like 5 rounds, kind of.
Yeah, so you're gonna just flutter over there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
First off, magic armor has just been strewn around the area like it was taken off and in pieces as somebody was walking. It is fit for a Rakostan male. You're pretty sure this is a Sun Shaman's armor. At a closer look at the armor is actually fashioned from some sort of insectoid-like plate and not metal.
Okay.
Or at least doesn't contain metal in sufficient quantities
Yeah.
to be considered metallic.
Yeah.
Can I take a look at? So I saw he was using this thing. He was praying at the like the Vitruvian Cat Circle on the ground thing.
Yep.
I think it's being used in some sort of either religious or magic ritual. Can I do a quick glance at it and see if I know what its purpose is?
Sure. How are you glancing at it?
Let me see. Do I have arcane sight or whatever? I might fire up a quick. What is that one I've got?
Even detect magic could be good for starters.
Yeah, I'll do a detect magic. If I detect magic on it, I will put up. What is that one?
Arcane sight's certainly one.
Yeah, is that the one I use?
You might be able to psychometry on any of these items.
Yeah, I'll kneel down. Do we have a minute, don't we?
You have a minute, yes.
All right. Watch my back. Here we go. And I will lean down, close my eyes, and rest my hand on the circle and do a psychometry check on it.
Okay.
All right. Psych. All right, let me get the pen and paper out. This will be a good one.
All right, so the professor, the absolute dominating will of the Lord of the Sun and the entire pantheon of the Ankwani gods thus commands you to find the deity in the sun.
What?
The professor actually lays down into the circle and is pretending to be the Sun Shaman at this point.
In the dark, though.
In the dark, but it's like middle of the day, and you know what the Sun Shaman has been commanded to do. He is searching for Ra. The sun's rays may be the only thing that can escape. and he is slowly giving himself to the sun. You know, Professor, that the Sun Shaman is acting upon, well, let's just say that you've felt the brush of deities before, upon some sort of dominating command that has completely taken over his life.
Do I know where the source of this dominating command? Do I sense its origin?
You're not sure, but whatever the dominating command was, or what caused it, has caused him to create this symbol, which you think is trying to send his soul into the light of the sun so that it can explore beyond the light in search of Ra, the Lord of the pantheon and the gods, and the bringer of light, and the giver of life, the controller of ripening crops, the life giver, the creator of the universe, the one who warms life, who grows it, the chief and principal God of all things. At least you're kind of hearing this will. The last thing that you get from your psychometry is that there's something hollow about the command. Like at one time in the ancient past, this may have been true, but long since have been those days, since followers of Ra have even called out his name in reverence. Ra holds no power here. You know that his dominion was divided amongst the inheritor gods. Halcyon, Baishi Pei, and others may have picked up pieces of what he left behind. In fact, Ra was one of the gods that you saw on the, if you were to believe Baba Yaga's strange museum, was one of the gods that she has claimed is dead. There's something that is very hollow about the command. It's like it's an echo from the past.
Interesting.
Now that you're closer, you do see the Sun Shaman has bled, puked, shed, and has skin flaked up here. Apparently he comes out here every day to lie in the sun, unprotected.
Rough life. Suntan all day.
There are no signs of water or food or anything up here. And the armor, while magical, looks like it's been kind of blown around in the wind a little bit. You might have to search to find all the pieces.
Water, Pharisee.
I'll create water and spew a little bit out like a drinking fountain from my finger.
I'll lift up the mask a little bit to take a drink.
Darian, Thurgus, and Krojun were walking to the temple. You do see people looking up. Krojun's hard to miss.
Darian's going to make his plate just look like robes with a hood, so because he's got what's it called on his? Just a second, I will get the name. Sleeves of many garments is a thing he's got on his the tin crown he wears.
All right, so you're trying to disguise yourself then.
Oh, not so much disguise, just kind of hide the fact that I'm just trying not to draw attention.
Give me you're trying to disguise yourself as not a paladin, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll give you a +4 unless it specifically says for your item for your armor that changes into robes.
And I gotta check. Oh, bad. Where Simona transform the appearance of her current garments into any other non-magical set of clothing. So
Cool.
change the appearance. So just +4. So you got 27.
Okay. I need you managed to disguise yourself well enough that no one's really trying to bother you. Your cloaks kind of look like a desert cloak and a hood, like you're trying to protect yourself from the sand. And most people now seem to be just staring at Thurgus.
Yeah, he's not too worried about drawing attention when he's with Thurgus.
Yeah, you get the sense that they don't know what Thurgus is. Like some people are pointing, they're whispering as they're going by. They're not approaching, perhaps because they see Krojun and they recognize Krojun. You caught wind, Thurgus, that like there's another big man. Some of them are confused by how large you are. Some of them are confused by what you are. Darian, as you approach, you do get the feeling that this is still holy ground to Halcyon.
Okay.
You can't help but notice that there are a lot of merchants or layabouts just outside of the vicinity of the temple that look like they might be priests and monks of Halcyon, that look like they've fallen upon hard times and for whatever reason aren't living in the temple.
Okay.
There is a single man, a Rakastan, a Simbastan Rakastan. I need a name for a warrior monk lion man.
Mufasa's out of the question.
Simba, yeah, right.
What's that?
So I was just gonna do another Lion King character.
Rory.
Rory.
Catfolk name generator. All right.
Matari.
Matari. That's close.
Clael.
Cragdar? Interesting.
Some warrior name for sure.
Pretty good.
It's Qregdar. Weird. Cragdar.
Calliope.
All right. There seems to be a lightly, if not non-armored, very strong-looking Simbastan with a like a battle staff that looks like he's keeping guard in the doorway.
Okay.
He is not. He's large for a medium-sized creature, but not nearly the size as.
That's Kragdar. He's a holy warrior.
Why is no one in the temple?
Krojun just. I think there was an argument. It's old news.
Okay.
There is a blank banner that is actually kind of like unfurled out of a balcony that is covering the etched symbol of Halcyon.
Okay, at this point, it's like.
Okay, when you're like, you stand in front, you're like, what? You do notice a couple of catfolk are like looking at the group of you, and one catfolk comes up to you, and actually, I have another token for this catfolk. She's small. and she seems to be brave enough to approach where others have not. Actually found a catfolk child miniature. It's so cute.
Really?
Yeah, so like, or a token picture.
Kitten folk?
Kitten folk. Kitty folk. All
Cat
right.
folk child?
I need a. No, I've almost got it. Almost like
Nirmalia?
Drianda.
Is it too late to name this big guy Garfieldicus?
Garfield. What was
Garfieldian?
what was the one? What did you say?
Nermal?
Driandra? Or just kitty?
All right.
Excuse me, sirs.
This cute little. She's definitely catfolk, Bastani. She wanders up to you guys before you go and approach and confront Kregdar.
Detect evil.
I'm a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
Kids say some weird shit, man.
Christopher's like, oh. No, there's no evil coming from her.
Detect chaos.
Excuse me, sirs.
Oh, okay. Sorry, didn't see you there.
You're from station.
Yes, I am.
You speak Bastani, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You speak our tongue.
Yes, I learned it as I was growing up.
You shouldn't go in there.
Why not?
Kregdar beats up anyone who tries.
And why would Kregdar do that?
He is under orders from the Sun Shaman.
Oh, is he now?
The temple is under redecoration.
Is it now?
Yes, but he does not do much work. He spends all of his days sunning in the crag.
Oh, does he now?
The Fasting Rock. We used to have many rituals up there.
Well,
But now only the Sun Shaman spends time up there. It has been this day since I was little.
so this Sun Shaman has closed the Temple of Halcyon.
Yes. He is the high priest.
Krojun,
Yeah.
how much trouble would what I am now, get in for beating the crap out of this Kregdar?
You probably should do it tomorrow.
All right. He walks up to Kregdar.
Oat.
Oh, I'm not going any further just yet. Just know that tomorrow I'm going to hand you your ass.
Thurgus is rubbing off on the paladin.
Thurgus just looks at it and just starts giggling.
You must get the sun
I knew the paladin swung that
to
way.
enter his holy temple.
Oh, I don't think it's his.
Thurgus leans over. Have you ever met Halcyon? I saw him once.
He's such a...
Hang on a sec. What did you say?
Well, I mean, look, if, there's a high priest and we're trying to get, jurisdiction or whatnot, I feel like people who's blokes with him should be allowed in, right? So, that one time I saw Halcyon and we was on good terms, at least I feel like it. And, words were said.
There's a little tug on your cape or your cloak.
Yeah, little one.
Be careful. I don't think they worship Halcyon in that temple any longer.
I think that's what our paladin friend is suggesting. I
Word of
appreciate
advice.
you, though. And I, bend down and, pat her on the head.
Word of advice, Kregdar, don't be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow is another day.
Yeah. That's what tomorrow refers to. It's the next day.
Okay.
Is my Vistani that bad?
You think he's going to be here. You've encountered stubborn, guardly like folk. And
he is stubborn, guardly like folk.
And there's a degree of devotion that he is.
He picks up a small stone, your ass, and gives it a little boot. Tomorrow.
Thurgus just kind of looks at him like he's trying to make his first intimidate check, and he's just kind of like...
You can make an intimidate.
I'll try. I'll try. I can't remember if I'm any good at it. I'm not bad at it. Got a 38.
He flinched when you kicked the stone.
That's right.
He doesn't like being where he is.
We're gonna go talk to this Sun Shaman. You're gonna give him a warning too.
Fluttering in behind after their investigations are Invisible Henry and Pharisee. You're like, oh, there's Krojun and Thurgus and Darian making friends. From afar, you can see there's definitely a standoff. There's this little Ricosted or little catfolk Bastani trying to pull the two of them or the three of them away.
Should we go in the upstairs window, do you think, Professor?
Perhaps we should pop in. I don't
Let's
think
peek in at least, shall we?
Yes.
See if we can see a Sun Shaman taking a nap after his tiring day of attempting suicide.
Before Darian leaves, he is going to detect evil on Craigdar.
On Craigdar? Okay. He's watching what you're doing. There's no evil coming from Craigdar.
Okay. Then I won't kill you.
He flinched again though when you raised your hand to make it glow. His brow furrows as he might know what you're doing. He might still be here tomorrow though. He doesn't do it back. Okay. Yeah.
Pharisee and the Professor will fly up and peek in on the Sun Shaman.
Yeah, this place, well, the architecture is really old, and part of the upper floors have crumbled away. Apparently, the sun-worshipping priest has either not rebuilt them or they've left them open to the elements. They may not get a terrible amount of rain here. You do go down a flight of stairs, and you do see the Sun Shaman. I need a stealth with your +20s for invisibility. As the Sun Shaman is sitting at a stone bench, and it looks like he's like got the 1,000-yard stare, and he's just applying some cream to his arm.
49 for the Professor.
$43 for Pharisee.
Nice.
Okay.
Not bad. Should have brought the elephant.
I've got a nat 20 on his perception check.
Oh my god, did he see both of us?
He is only 10 feet away when you come down the stairs. It could have been 60, which means that you get a plus. It's like he got a 43, which is he looks up from his application of some sort of cream. You do see a bunch of jars that have been messily discarded around this bench. You do see some bandages and like a healing kit, multiple healing kits that looks like he's gone through, and they're just discarded off to the side with no care taken for the place that he's in.
He senses Pharisee.
Who got the 43?
I got a 43.
Okay, so he looks up. He's staring almost right through the two of you. What are you doing? You kind of went in and went down the stairs, and you're 10 feet away from him.
I'm going to leave.
Yeah, same.
I'll flutter away at speed.
He stands up. Leave the temple.
Yeah.
I'm not to be disturbed.
I'm gonna get disturbed tomorrow morning.
And you guys are leaving the stairwell that you're in?
Yes.
Okay, you hear quick spell casting, and a column of fire and holy energy gets called down on the stairwell where you were just standing. Give me a spellcraft check.
Oh, I hope the
fucking
professor
around.
gets holy smited. I so hope he gets holy smited.
28.
He just flame struck the stairwell where you heard the noise.
Yeah.
Taking it really personal.
We'll leave.
He cast it as a primal spell, like a druid would cast.
Ooh.
Yeah. Interesting, Professor.
You then hear him moving around, and you can hear some jars clinking, like he kind of strewing through his garbage, and some jars are being picked up, and some of them crack, and it looks like he's going back to tending to his wounds.
I'm curious if he's under some compulsion.
Yes.
I'd love to get arcane eyes on him.
Oh, let's see, arcane eyes. Do you think we should do it now or wait till the feast? Will he even be there?
Well, I wouldn't mind taking a quick look in.
You're gonna try to sneak back?
Yeah, I think I'll use arcane sight, and I'll cast. I'll cast. Let's see, analyze Dwemer.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I will put a Good Hope and a Grand Destiny and a Freedom of Movement. And I will do this from far enough away that it's extremely unlikely to be
Now
heard.
that you know where he's
including-
sitting, you can you think you can go from an outside window to have a look in.
Yeah, that would be great.
When I see Pharisee preparing to do this, I will fly to an appropriate distance away and will duck behind some pillars or some rocks or something to see line of sight where I'm trying to do an illusion to get him to look the other direction from the window, so probably back towards the stairs where he just heard us, so that Pharisee, when she looks through the window, hopefully his back will be towards her. And
Okay, what's the illusion of?
It will be, I think, a giant black cat, but not like a anthropomorphic cat, just like a really big black cat kind of purring from the foot of the stairs where we just were.
I shan't be off with you. You're allowed in the temple. I must be alone.
He sees the cat and he kind of rushes forward and he's yelling at it.
I'll try
He's now distracted. You need to beat a 29 with the distance you've put at yourselves. That 29 has become a 26.
I'll try and
for stealth.
In order to approach stealthily?
Yeah. For him not to know
Alright.
the spellcaster is invisibly flying outside the window.
With the good hope, I'm now at plus 22. 32.
And you're adding plus 20 for invisibility, correct?
Oh, 52.
Okay. So you may not have been adding it before. Perhaps it was noise and not the illusion.
No, I was.
Okay.
I think. Oh wait. Huh.
Oh yeah, he rolled really well. He rolled a nat 20 on his.
He rolled really well. Yeah.
The high level wisdom caster, probably with max ranks and perception. He's yelling at the cat this time. He's shooing it away.
Yeah.
it'll do like that cat thing that cats do, where they don't really care. Maybe it licks its paw.
As a free action, Pharisee is able to use the 6th level bard spell called Analyze Dwemer. Dwemer? Anyways.
Dwemer?
Wait.
Dweomer.
Yeah.
In the case of magic item, you learn its functions, including any curse effects, how to activate, blah, blah, blah. In the case of an object or creature with active spells cast upon it, you learn each spell, its effect, and the caster level. The Sun Shaman has a caster level 18 dominate person effect currently activated on him.
That seems about right.
You also, so each round you can examine a creature and object. So I assumed you were examining him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I'll take a quick look. Are there any artifacts? Are there any old objects in positions of prominence in the room?
No.
Okay.
The room has got a lot of garbage in it. He's been doing this for a long time. There is a basin nearby that it does look like he's turned around and he's casting a spell. Looks like create water. He's created a basin of water and he picks up the basin and is now drinking heartily from it.
I am going to attempt to break enchantment.
We're going for it right away.
I mean, he might still be angry at us, etc., etc. But that was part of my loadout for the last battle, so
Yeah, do it up.
That's still what I've got.
So while this is going on, Darian and Thurgus and Krojun, were you walking away?
Unless someone else has got business. Darren's,
I asked the little girl if she wants to ride on my shoulders.
Well, where are you going?
Oh, we'll be back.
Oh,
Oh, we're just mucking about. Do you want to see up high?
okay.
I just pick her up and put her on my other shoulder.
My name's Kit. What's your name?
I'm Fergus.
You're kind of like a Rakasta. You got a strange snout, though.
Just barely. And then he chuckles to himself.
Barely. Oh, yeah.
It's not that funny.
Ultimate dad jokes.
Darian, it's not that funny.
Why did you want to visit the temple? Are you hurt?
Oh, no. Elsie and I go way back, like a couple weeks ago.
Darian's just shaking his head.
We hold our religious ceremonies outside the temple now. Forced to give homage to Halcyon in the shadows.
Oh, well, if my little friend over here, and I thumb back to Darian, has his way, you'll have your temple back in no time.
Your temple. Wait,
But-
are you a priest?
Well, technically, he's a paladin, and I'm an inquisitor for the inherited races.
She practically jumps from Thurgis's shoulders, almost like onto your head in a
Yeah.
hug.
A paladin!
Okay, we're taking you down.
We have not had a paladin here in a long time.
She says excitedly.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that, because if you had a paladin here and that shit was still happening, that would be unacceptable.
Yes.
You would make a great inquisitor.
Are you here to tell the sun priest to let us back into the temple?
Yep.
Really?
I'm here to inquisit.
Well, yeah, we're going to ask first, and then if he has the right answer, great. And if not, we're not going to ask. We're going to tell him.
You're a human.
Yep.
No, you're not a human.
Well, not exactly. Mostly. Partly.
You're part angel.
He kind of looks at Thurius and a little bit, yeah.
I've snuck
Oh, that's
up
awesome.
before. I must admit, I was curious. I saw pictures in books.
They still got the books. That's good.
You look like picture in book. Girl.
Darian, do you have feathers?
No, I don't have feathers.
He does not have feathers. He's a paladin.
Or what if he's got like those angel wings or whatever?
Yes.
Actually, I have a cloak. It is a cloak that gives him wings of flying. Now, are they feathered wings or are they like leather wings?
That cloak is actually clouds specifically.
Is it clouds?
Cloak of clouds. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
clouds, yeah.
So it's
It
maybe
manifests like a cloud, yeah.
Yeah, it's
They're not feathers. Maybe you're the one that we pray for.
Well, maybe.
I'm going to tell the others that you've come.
Will you let them know to get their prayers ready?
Where are you headed? You should come with us. They will make a feast.
Oh, I've got a thing to do tonight.
Where?
Hey, Krogan, where's that thing we gotta do?
This like ceremonial dinner with the chief, like to get.
Yeah, we're having dinner with the chief.
The chief is throwing a feast. Then we will be in line. Perhaps we'll be lucky enough to get some food from the stable.
Are you
From the stable? What, like horse feed or something?
Not right now, from his table.
Oh.
We are not camels or lizards.
Are the followers of Halcyon hungry?
Oh no, but there are some who are not as well off as others.
Tell them to come. They will have food.
she scampers off. She turns back around.
Bye.
And then she runs off. All right, so you guys are heading back. The next, so Henry, you're distracting him with a cat, and the next thing that you're looking at, Pharisee, he really is only wearing 2 items aside from some very bloody robes that he's now wearing. Like
Oh
put
yeah.
on.
Can I see the amulet?
Yes, he has. After putting on these white robes that look like they were clean but have now seeped through with all the blistering that he has for his lying in the harsh sun. You look at the amulet. Oh yes, that amulet is the source of the domination.
Ah, okay. In that case,
It is an 18th level thing that You're pretty sure the sole purpose of it is to indoctrinate the wearer in the ways of Ra, and to listen to the last command that a priest of Ra had given it.
Aha. Is this a situation where a greater dispel magic on the object would suppress it?
Because you're looking at it with analyzed Wimmer, you know that it basically every day casts a dominate person on him by being in proximity with it. It's likely acting as a cursed item in that he can't remove it from his person. And then even if he makes his save one day, caster level 18 dominate person lasts for 18 days.
Yeah.
So it's like
You'd have to make it 18 days in a row.
he never quite gets
wearing
a
him
chance.
down.
Yeah, you never quite get a chance to get free from the curse.
Yeah.
A dispel magic would dispel the item for, I believe, brief moments, like a number of rounds.
Yeah.
You likely need some way of breaking the curse, and then some effect that would render the domination null.
So I don't have a protection from evil, which would potentially suppress that effect. But I do have the break enchantment, which should knock it off of him until it's recast, which might give us hours of clarity. I'm going to give it a try.
You're going to cast break enchantment?
I'm going to cast a break enchantment.
Seeing kind of Pharisee like tense, like she's determined to do something. Well, I guess I can't see her. She's invisible. Yeah, I was gonna make the cat hiss, but maybe
I can use my Grand Destiny to add a +4 to a caster level check.
Nice.
I think the cat from the foot of the stairs bounds back.
This would probably just end the whole thing.
I would imagine that it would remove the spell that was cast on him.
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
He'd still be wearing a cursed amulet that he couldn't take off, and it would still attempt to cast it again the next day.
It does remove them of curses. For a cursed magic item, the DC is equal to the DC of the curse. So there are two things in here. It's the DC of the spell that's currently affecting him and the curse, and you can get multiple things in your casting. I think you only get one roll though. So let me just quickly figure out the DC.
Do we have any points or anything for this?
This item.
18 plus 11 probably.
Matt, you got nothing. I got nothing.
All right, and the caster level is 18, and curses.
Max, you're dry too. Neil's got a fortune. Marty's got a fortune and a hero. Mark, you've got a fortune and a hero.
Cool.
Do we have something like suppress charms and compulsions or something that we could just like guarantee by some crazy free time?
I think probably a circle of protection against evil cast within range of him, so he's affected by it right away, might suppress the dominate person effect while he was near you.
I don't know. Just give it a shot. See how it goes, and then if we need to do something else later, we will.
Yeah, because I don't have protection from evil. I'm a witch. But I do have break enchantment, which I'm hoping will work on the dominate person effect as a spell, and Maybe it'll also work on the cursed item. That might be a higher roll required.
Let it rip, buddy.
I can get D20 plus 16. Let's see what we get. Not bad. It's a 31.
31.
Okay. The first thing that happens is that the amulet falls.
Caster level 20 effects would.
Yeah,
would take
the
it.
amulet falls off of his neck. Like it kind of slips
That's a good
the
sign.
bond. It slips around. You do see it kind of reform the chain, and it falls into like the folds of his lap as he's got the robe on. He's looking at it, and he blinks. The DC of the cursed item is only 25. The DC of an 18th level
Dominate person.
a dominate person is 11 plus caster level, which is 29.
Yeah. This is just high enough to do it.
This is where you yell, "Don't touch it!"
He
my
looks at
invisibility
it
drops.
and sort of like shakes his robe so that the thing goes launching into the garbage that is strewn around his bench. He takes off his mask, which looks like he hasn't taken off in a while, and there's kind of like some skin that comes
Sores.
with it. He's got some sores, and immediately he looks confused and a little bit paralyzed with his situation. He's actually now reacting to how sore he is.
Hello, Sun Shaman.
His eyes grow wide, and he actually falls over some of the garbage and is sort of he falls over in surprise when you say that from the window. Who's there? Who's there?
There is a feast tonight in our honor. You've been invited. I thought you might wish to attend. We can send healers over to help you prepare if you wish.
Who speaks to me?
My name is Pharisee. I'm friends with a number of folks, including your chief's nephew, Krojun.
I will make you visible, and he begins to cast a spell, but there's
Oh,
something wrong.
I cast something that's probably I'm probably visible.
It requires no saving throw, so nope.
Oh, fair point.
He's casting a spell, but there's something wrong. Give me a spellcraft.
Someone needs to be told.
That's right. Spellcraft.
Is someone be bad?
38.
He tried to cast an invisibility purge, but there was no power behind his words and his prayers, and nothing happened.
Who are you calling out to this time? I'll dismiss the invisibility.
He looks at his hand, and you notice that there might have been a tattoo there that might have been ruined by repetitive
Sunburn.
Yeah, sunburning.
Sure, yeah.
And flaking of the skin. Yeah. Are you another figment here to torture me?
No. I have brought with me, though, one of my companions is a priest of Halcyon. Perhaps you two have some things to discuss?
Have I heard and seen this happening?
Oh yeah, you're hovering in the window that Pharisee is perched in.
Can I fly down, find Darian on the streets, hit him with a fly and an invisibility, and say, "Follow me, young lad"?
Yeah, Darian. For
we
some
require
reason,
your healing.
Yeah, Darian. For some reason, whatever the three of them said to this little kid, Bastani had the Bastani yipping and yelling and doing a cartwheel and and scurrying off happily.
Darian, we require your healing. Quickly, come now.
Oh, all right. Who needs healing?
I'll spell recall, fly, and cast it. Spell recall, invisibility, and cast it.
Got a flying cloak.
Yeah, but I don't have time to.
But you may as well.
Darian saying, you know.
Iron activation bullshit. That's for.
He flies you.
One round in this thing on him.
Okay.
Yeah, Henry, you don't like the feeling of this temple. Like the ground of this temple is holy in a way that doesn't make you feel comfortable. Hanging out just outside the window is probably best.
I'll do that and recast fly on myself when it seems to be getting low.
Okay. Pharisee, did you go in while he was fetching Darian?
Yeah, I'll just sit in. Yeah, absolutely.
Do not touch that amulet. It wants to leech from you your life.
Indeed. Suppressed for a moment, but I'm glad you cast it aside.
He finds a jar that's kind of, it still has some sort of like Vaseline-like substance clinging to the inside of it, and he kind of finds the amulet and scoops the amulet up inside the jar and just has it in his hands. He puts it on the bench where he has sat many a time before, and he's staring angrily at it.
Where did you get it?
I got it. But it's been so many days.
Yes.
A year? No. 3 years.
The old god has lost his power, but some of it went to your
3 years
old
ago,
god.
I got it.
Oh my.
3 years. Where are the priests of this temple? Where?
Darian's gonna come in and rip him a new one. While the room isn't really well constructed to begin with, you'd expect this place to be swept. There are some religious insignias on the inside that have been covered up with blankets and trashed furniture. Benches leaned up against the walls to block at least carvings of that depict Halcyon and his great deeds as de facto head of the inherited races.
Don't touch the horrifyingly cursed artifact.
Touch the artifact? What? I can't hear you through this damned mask.
Who is there? Please, I have no more will for tricks.
Darian, your healing, please. It seems that the shaman has followed on hard times.
Oh, this son of a
You
bitch.
will want to have a conversation.
Yes, he's been under a terrible compulsion effect for many years now, dominating
Pastoral
him.
care, I believe, is what we're talking about.
Wait, he was detect evil on the priest.
There's no evil coming from the Sun Shaman.
All right, so I'm
I
not going to
think
kill
you're
him.
going to want to direct that detect evil over there to the compulsion-inducing artifact.
Which does not radiate evil.
The thing is not evil.
The
Yes.
last command in it was not great.
No, he was compelled to give up his soul in search of a god who has died quite some time ago. I do believe, Sun Shaman, you are attempting to give your soul into the sun in order to find Ra somewhere out there. There is a belief that sun may be the only thing that can escape the impending cataclysm befalling these doomed pearls.
How do you know this? Is this your plot?
Sounds about right.
Oh, no, I'm just a scholar. I know a great many things, but I have brought a priest of Halcyon. He's quite an adept healer. He's here to bring you back into the true light, shall we say.
His shoulders slump. He asks one more time, "Show yourselves."
Darian attacks one of the cloths that are covering up.
Yeah, you appear.
All right, Mr. Kitty Cat, we're gonna have a little chitty chat.
My lord, he says, and he drops to one knee.
Well, that went well.
I have not seen your countenance in some.
He glances up at you. Your spitting image, and he's slowly starting to rise as he realizes his mistake.
Who do you think you were talking to?
Your Montague?
That is my family name.
Junior?
My guess is you're talking about my grandfather.
Yes. You look like him.
So I'm told.
I have not seen him in. He visited us when I was but a pup.
Well, I haven't seen him in quite some time myself, so let's discuss what's going on with this temple.
That thing over there is a relic of old, dug up from the desert. I occasionally look at these things and search for things that once belonged to priests of our religions. I mistook it as something small that was aligned with the sun. It is small, but not small in power. Oh, and it is aligned to the sun, but it does not know any names that we call the gods. It calls out to something that came before.
That would be Ra, the former sun god who is now dead, and his power
Oh,
split between Halcyon and the like.
Never
Just
mind.
a voice at the window, pay him no mind.
That would be a wizard companion of mine.
Scholar companion, Darian.
And scholar. My mistake.
Thank you, sir.
The priests, the monks.
You kicked them out.
I would not hear our God's name. Ra was the only God on my lips. I must find him. Oh, I used to. You don't know where he is, do you? This
He's dead.
Confused.
Ra
this man.
is dead.
Ra is dead, according to my scholar friend. Come, let's ease your wounds. He lays on hands on him.
Okay, that seems to help with some of the sunburning that he's been undergoing.
He had any diseases or, well, I guess these aren't cured curses.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of skin cancery disease that you'd probably get
From sitting in the sun.
from sitting in the sun. Yep.
Feasting yourself with Crisco or whatever it was.
I
Color
have 2
does
removed diseases.
return to him. It does look like Darian's touch removes diseases. Oh, what help he
Nice.
would have been during the
Oh, the blood veil.
The blood
Good
veil,
lord.
during the
yeah.
jail. Yeah. Oh, and he kept many soldiers and good folk of Grand Station, just in other districts, safe.
Well, now that you're feeling better, shall we adjourn to the Chieftain's Hall for feast, and you can explain where your head has been these last few years? And we can sort out this business with the temple tomorrow, reestablish the priests and monks in their proper alcoves or what have you.
Perhaps you could ask that Kregdar to allow the monks and priests back into the temple.
Yes.
I thought, yes,
There's a feast.
Yes.
in our honor.
I haven't eaten a proper meal in a long time.
Then you should join us.
You will be interested in what the truth speaker has to tell.
Have committed acts in the name of Ra that have shamed me.
Then perhaps Darian can escort you in. As the bearer of Halcyon's light, he will usher you back into the good graces of your shared God.
I cannot cast an atonement. If that is what you seek.
I do not expect it to be easy. He picks his way through the garbage. He shakes his head at just the way he's been living and disappears downstairs. You do hear him ordering Kregdar. Kregdar! Do not bar the gates from any who call out to Halcyon. This house is once again his.
And tell him not to be there tomorrow.
Go and invite those in the village to come and pray before Halcyon. No, wait. Go and get the priests and the monks, those that still call them such. Yeah, we must restore this place with some modicum of decorum before we allow the populace in.
I'll be in tomorrow to help.
Kregdar sees you like, he saw that you were here, but then he listens to the orders, and he bows and gives you a long look again, and then scurries off.
Now
I would like
about
to pick up that jar
yes, about the jar.
and put it in the bag of holding that has the cloak of poisonousness in it.
Oh,
And the still beating
Awesome.
ghoul
So
heart.
while they were off doing their clericy things,
My bag of curses.
your bag of curses, yes.
Yes.
What a curious curse this would be.
I'll see Pharisee do that, and I'll say, "You read my mind, dear Cursinger. Read my mind." Have we not done enough good deeds for the day? I'm starving.
I will be at your feast. I have not heard what it is for.
Oh, they fought Cindermall.
You were there too, Darian. You passed through Cindermar as well.
Yeah, I don't feel like I was at quite the same risk. Feels a little shallow, quite frankly, as victories go.
You rescued me from that horrible artifact. That thing that was found in the desert and sold to me as a trinket.
Actually, that would be my invisible friends did that. You will see them at the feast tonight, if they care to introduce themselves properly at some point.
I did. I'm Pharisee. What do you want? Look, I have to go. I'm going to fly over to the place and the feast and yes, I'll see you. I hope there.
Yes, the same. I'm getting quite tired of standing in this window recasting Fly.
Professor Pharisee, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Darian.
Our
Remember to
pleasure.
be kind towards an old man in the future. He's not all as gruff and evil as his exterior may appear.
Don't remind me.
We too wish to escape the coming cataclysm.
Yes, it seems, Pharisee. Some believe
Well, hold it
light
off if
is
we
the
can.
only. Yes.
Arcane casters, what are you gonna do?
He just nods. Darian seems to be able to smooth everything over.
there's something about Darian that the Sun Shaman immediately recognized. Apparently, the Sun Shaman knows Darian's grandfather, or has met him before.
Fantastic.
The group of you and half the village is lined up. Well, you are honored at the feast and given a prominent place. Chief Reddy Claw is sitting in his seat with a cup of mulled wine. People seem to be at ease, as this is going to be a story that is told as opposed to something of more dire nature. Kit's managed to wiggle her way into the room. She seems to be friendly with Krojun and Thurgus, and smiles at Darian. There is a shocked murmur as the Sun Shaman, dressed in fine robes, it looks like bits of his armor have been retrieved. He pauses as he enters the hall. People do glance right away at Tech, who's been behaving himself and guarding Pharisee. Chief Reddyclaw, forgive my absence as of late. My contemplations in the sun have concluded. I must thank the grandson of the demon slayer Darian Montagu.
Ooh, demon slayer.
There's a murmur, and there seems to be the more religious the folks are, the more interested or the more they recognize who Darian might be. He and his companions, while they may be mock standers,
Everyone shooting knowing glances at Fergus.
the hand goes up on Fergus's wrist, have lifted a great and foul influence upon me. One of the old relics has had me under its spell. What a mighty spell it must have been to keep you from this hall for the greater part of 3 years, Sun Shaman.
Ouch, 3 years.
Your seat has been vacant. Hopefully not vacant any longer, at least not for tonight. To hear the tale of these brave folk who were swallowed by Cindermaw. Yes, that is the rumor, says the chieftain. The hall gets packed full of Rakastan and catfolk to the point where you can't move your elbow without touching fur.
This is the desert, people.
There are a few I guess, yeah, there aren't many people of other races here, at least not that have been given elbow room in the chieftain's hall. Akrun is putting on a good story. He is using oratory to tell what he has shown. You realize that he is doing a performance that can be augmented by your own abilities if you want it to be incredibly impressive.
Hell yeah, we want it to be incredibly impressive.
Yeah, no, I'm all about that.
I'm gonna pour as much major image magic as he needs into this. I'll increase DCs on it so it's extra believable.
Okay.
And I will I assume he's gonna need an image an illusion for Cindermaw, which I can give to the crawling claw, and then as he like introduces and talks about the different companions, I'll like spell recall and cast minor images for all of us, and they'll like linger and they'll look really noble and they'll hover about the hall, and I'll just pour illusions on, let them fade, and bring them in as he needs them. I'll burn like as many illusion spells as this story.
Yeah, you
needs.
could burn your most powerful illusion spell, and maybe a mage's point,
Yep. Yeah, I'll pour whatever.
and then
whatever
give
I
me a
can.
craft illusion.
Yep. That would be craft illusion 28.
Okay. There's an awe from the crowd as they begin to actually not just hear but see the story. Akrun does give you a nod. He while he's telling his story, he does take a pause for some drink. He does whisper to you via a message spell that please follow what I say and not lead.
Yeah, I'll definitely let him take the lead. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give every character every major character, I'll give them a leitmotif. Their own little, imperial march for the
I see.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, give me a perform check.
That should be not too intrusive.
Yeah.
36.
It's pretty
Awesome.
nice.
Five.
These guys got
Well
to
played.
see Dune in 3D.
Yeah. Akrun is now standing on his floating carpet telling the story as there's a 3D version of the story spilling out across the table that is jammed full of food and drink. Akrun didn't start necessarily at Cindermaw. He says that the character and heroics of these great folk, while not all stories are known by him, it started with them battling a great monster, the Red Reaver, who attacked the House of the Temple of the Moon.
Oh yeah, I guess it did.
And while he did not bear direct witness, heard stories that even their mercy went so far as helping Thousand Bones recover the bones of a fallen Rakassan.
Yeah, we did do that.
That they've shown the catfolk great honor. He then goes through what the insanity of what he saw on the outside, which does not match what goes on and what went on the inside. And Professor, this is where you get to embellish a little bit of like flying of the. Well, of course, you didn't experience it, so you're just sort of making up.
I'll make it up. Oh yeah.
Do you include anything about Azrael in the gut of the on the gut of the monster, or did they just find these items in the monster and then they left?
As I'm like throwing in the illusions, layering them in there, I'll sneak one of him in there, but it won't be like a prominent feature of the display. It'll be like
the professor is in the worm with everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's what his story is, right? I'm just following his story.
Right. Okay. So Akrun, because you fooled him in thinking that you went in, right?
Yeah, he saw the vomit twin get swallowed, and then he saw an illusionary professor fly out of the behind.
Okay. That is what he describes, and you can go back and watch the last 2 episodes if you need to go into gory detail. But yeah, they came out with treasures that were thought lost, and at one moment they thought the professor was also lost, but he flew out the backside. Everyone laughs that the tiny professor got flushed out the backside. He was the only one that didn't. Others, like Krojun and Thurgus, hacked their way out, while others, like the Fae, used their spells to exit once they found the crystals, which are now in a pile in this big bowl on display to prove it. Or you guys are each holding a piece of crystal. People are ecstatic at this telling of the tale. I'm gonna roll a die behind the screen.
This better be the best damn story these guys have heard in years.
Well, he rolled above 15. There are people cheering and congratulating. You can see people calling out in Bastani, hero. And the chieftain raises his hand. He looks to the Sun Shaman nods. He looks to the Truth Seeker nods. And let it be known that these fine folk are free to live and walk amongst us. They are no longer mock standers. They are Rakastan. And with the great show that has been provided, with the Sun Shaman finally coming out to a festival at some after 3 years of hiatus, and he's actually talking and interacting, this seems to have a profound effect. You do find a lot of the religious folk have spread the rumor that the angel man Darian has returned and is amongst them.
Oh, that will be confirmed as later on once the festivities have begun, but the formality is done. Darian's making sure no one goes hungry. He's got 8 create food and water.
Nice.
No one goes hungry.
How many people can be fed per crate food and water?
For him, 36 per create food and water.
And he's got 8 available. 14 if he goes into his 5th level spells.
So with the food that's already been
8
provided,
times 36
8 times
is
36
288.
would feed almost 300 people.
288.
Yeah, you don't need to spend much beyond that with also the food that is provided. Krojun eventually just slams his fist on the table, and people are like, huh? Chief, Uncle, I've got a favor to ask. He glances at Thurgus. No, Thurgus has a favor to ask. Oh, we are all ears. Thurgus of the Blood Bear. Like after hours eating and drinking, there's people have now found out who you are.
I'd like permission to go and test myself at the Atlan Pillars.
You get a lot of people that look like they're impressed and they're nodding, like, look how big and strong he looks. He hasn't already been tested? Oh, how big is he going to be after that? The Atlan Pillars. There is an entity there that looks upon those who prove great feats of strength. Those that hold the pillars upon the shallow indents where they once stood. For those that even pick up one of the large pillars, as Krojun did, and hold it there from sun up to sundown, to sun up to sundown, and on the 3rd morn, may receive benefit, may receive blessings of the great and old and mighty Titan that was once the laborer of his brethren. You have proven yourselves by the truth speaker. By the truth speaker's stories, there is no reason to deny honorable and good folk such as you to attempt to appease. I must, however, warn you, those that go up there can attract the attention of the Titans. Atlas was once the strongest amongst them, and some of the Titans are still jealous. Chances are on one of the nights when you stand there without food or drink, holding up the pillar, that something will come to try to knock it down. Or that something will come for you. Darkness isn't afraid. Bunch of laughter. Both Krojun and... When will you do this? A couple of warriors. The people want to know. When are you going to do this?
Well, if it's from sun up, then I guess it's got to be tomorrow, doesn't it?
Ah!
Thurgis, you're sure you're going to want to do this with a hangover, son, all day? Maybe.
That's the best time to do it. That way, my hangover will wear off on like the second day, and I'll feel better.
That's not how the sun works.
It's gonna be great. Thank you, Chief Reddy Claw, for your permission and for your warning.
Okay, at a certain point during the feasting, Akrun does wander over to Pharisee. Curse mine eyes, I did not realize that your paladin was so special.
Indeed. I don't know that I realized he was quite so special either. He's no doubt an impressive and worthy fellow.
Yes. I've spoken briefly to the Sun Shaman. I suspect that he has some atoning to do.
It seems likely, yes.
But he will most likely be very amiable at telling you what you need to know.
Excellent.
Perhaps after you go and... Oh, maybe you might want to mention something now, just in case he has to find his thoughts or formulate his opinion.
Yes. I will have a quiet word with him then.
Tell me, truth speaker, is this the first, and perhaps I missed something in the ceremony, but it does seem that for the first time, perhaps in your long storied history, a Kreen is considered a Rakasta. Is this so?
Yes, it is not something I would continuously rub in.
Well,
But
it
yes,
is strange days.
Through association with Pharisee here of Garden, yes, your Kreen bodyguard is free to walk amongst us. And we will have to find some sort of symbol or perhaps something that the Kreen could wear that would indicate such.
100% imagining him with a headband with cat ears.
I'm sure that you could think of something appropriate, and
Yes.
that's good.
Perhaps some robes with symbols of the Iron God as well to demonstrate that he does not worship their great enemy.
That he does not worship the foul creature that was spawned by Set.
Yes, yes. We will put something together.
Hmm. I do not wish to wear ears.
There. Yes. I'll go over to the
There are
Sun
many
Shaman.
ears here I could collect, however.
It's Ixnay on the ears, eh?
Very well, my queen.
Oh, hey, Jasper.
Meow.
Meow.
All right. People have been approaching the Sun Shaman and talking to him. It appears that this is the first real humanoid interaction he's had in a while.
Yeah.
People are hesitant at first to approach, but they do go over and shake his hand, or they share a blessing with Halcyon. You can tell by the way he is acting very humbly and is carrying much shame.
Yes. Sun Shaman, if I could have a moment of your time.
Yes, this is your feast. It is in your
One
honor.
one of the things that we have come here to do, and one of the reasons why we sought out this opportunity to be Rakostan, is to seek your wisdom on a great enemy of the people, a great enemy of these pearls, that we seek to find and defeat. It operates in dreams. It is one of the great betrayers, and it has sway over the queen in Grand Station, who is herself an agent of the Archfey. I speak of. May I say the name?
There's also the shield over there. Probably Thurgus is holding.
I speak of Kazavon.
His brow furrows. He takes a deep breath. It is a foul name that you have just uttered.
It is. We seek to find and defeat him, and so any knowledge that you have about his history, where he operates from, how one enters and exits, and what his powers are, we greatly appreciate it. Obviously, this is the sort of thing that one might not wish to talk about over dinner,
Yes.
but perhaps tomorrow we could sit down and look through documents and lore and whatnot together, and seek both your wisdom and your advice.
There are stories that I know. It appears that your
Excellent.
brave Thurgus of this strange Ursine clan wishes to go to the temple with the temple ruins.
Yes.
I still have my powers of druidry. I should at least watch and check in on those that go to that temple from time to time.
Ah. Good.
While I am not checking in on you and your friends or whomever goes up there, I will dig through some of the old archives to refresh my memory on a few things.
We are also very skilled researchers ourselves, some more than others, but should you desire and consent to our assistance, we would be happy to offer it.
Yes. After Thurgus completes his trial, or perhaps while, some of you could help do research. Know that creatures are attracted to those who try to complete the trial.
Ah, yes.
Leaving Thurgus up there alone while a mighty warrior might not be the best idea.
It might be appropriate for us to at least manage the flow of his victims as they approach him. I think he would be unhappy if we were to do too much of the fighting while he was standing there holding things. But I think there are ways that we can help that are subtle.
If you do not intend to attempt the trial, then do not move or attempt to help one hold up one of the pylons, one of the totems, or even pillars if you're strong enough.
Understood.
The gods will know. Then in 3 days, you shall meet at the temple. I shall gather what I think is relevant. Stories have been passed down. A shaman, a priest long ago, was part of the band. A predecessor of mine from long ago was part of the band that faced Casavon.
Excellent. Yes, anyone who has had success in any form, their stories would be of great value.
Good luck to you, Thurgus. May your strength,
Yeah.
may your strength be unyielding, and may you find the pillar that you can lift and hold. Bunch of people cheer.
Yeah.
I hear there's some research that needs to be done. Some old books that need
Research?
poured over, you say?
Oh my.
Oh, Fergus won't be the only one lifting some things. Ooh,
The
yes.
trial of the totem or the trial of the pillars will be next game, as will be research in the
It's
halls
just
of
real.
the Grand Simbast.
It is real exciting. Just the trials of the pillars, or sitting
research
quietly in the library. The professor rolls a dice and opens another book.
Come on, you'll learn things. Or you go and guard fucking Thurgus's back at a Titan temple.
Yeah, I mean the Titan Temple certainly will have some cool stuff in it.
Okay.
That was a hell of an entrance here onto this town.
As the last scene that you guys don't quite notice is that at some time, kind of as the feast was beginning or after the story was told, grinning at everything, slipping away was Nofer Skin and Bones. Just no doubt, just up to goodly merchant things.
No doubt.
Yeah, flits like a
Nice.
shadow into the city.
It's gonna be skinned and deboned. Is what I mean.
All right, we need a name for tonight's game.
How about they came, they saw their catfolk.
The Rakastans.
Mark Sander was a big thing here.
Sunbathing.
Yeah.
Sunstroke.
Fun in the sun. Yeah.
Yes, Sunstroke's not bad, yeah.
Sunstroke. All right, so we had Matt, Luke, Max, and
That went perfectly, guys. That was the perfect way to handle that city.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone any better, really.
I'm
No.
honestly shocked that the
You guys,
truth speaker
you guys
didn't call you
busting
out.
out that break
Yeah.
enchantment. Just
Dude, that break enchantment was so clutch.
That's what you get when a party of 12th level folks comes into town. Certain
You guys
problems
heard
just get
rumors
solved.
that he was he could cast things like Earthquake and Firestorm. So that's how
Ooh,
powerful the Sun Shaman was.
that is a fight.
Firestorm is
really
a
want.
tough one.
I think Firestorm's 7th.
I think so. I'm not positive, but
Anyways, the Gestalt Druid Cleric.
so it's a bit of a combo, yeah.
Yep. Who's got his tail tucked between his legs a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I'm bad.
Breaking that and then just waltzing in with him into the feast there, that was
Very
so clutch.
curious that a power of Ra could not sense Ra, and that it seemed to try to think that there was something blocking it, and that it was trying to find a way through the barrier, and thought that light itself would be the path.
Nice.
Now, that was the command that a priest gave the amulet long ago,
Yes.
to perhaps convince somebody else to help do the thing.
Yeah.
What would that barrier be?
There's
It's not the pearl itself. The pearls seem to be inside of some plane that
yeah, the professor's father or grandfather, his research was all about the traveling and the idea that there was some area outside of all this.
Yeah, we seem to be in a prison built for the Titans.
Yeah.
And they've inside of it built some little worlds that maybe are the last refuge of things that have been destroyed outside of it. I don't know.
Some last gift of their power to the Titan Bride.
Yeah.
Last
There's some
ditch
suggestion that we're in that the pearls are all in the abyss.
Why do you think it's a prison for the Titans and not a prison for the Olympians?
That's an interesting question. Possibly both.
I mean, the Titans are in here, though.
We're not locked in here with them. They're locked in here with us.
That's exactly it.
On that note, I think I'm going to end the stream. This is super fun. Hey, I did a bunch of planning, and apparently I have, 2 more games of material left. So yeah, let's
really?
Let's
What?
keep it running. Well, there were 2 fights that I've already planned for.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I was just saying, we were cruising tonight. I didn't think
We were cruising. It was happening pretty quickly. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
For those watching on YouTube, which is where this episode will appear, thanks for your support. And as always, we hope you enjoyed this as much as we do. Peace. Have a good night.
Night, everyone.
Good
Take
night.
care.